Uh, Good evening, everyone. Just a minute. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the ISB PGPMAX Student Diaries.
Hi, Sandeep. Good evening.
Good evening. Thank you, Kapil. Thank you, Deepak. Thank you, Ashwini,
Hi,
for
Sandeep.
joining us.
Thank you.
We'll also have the candidates joining in soon. So, guys, today we're going to get an experience in terms of how the students who just completing or reaching the final stage of PGP Max, right, share their experience in terms of how the entire journey has been, and what do they really think about different questions that keep popping up every now and then. Even let me introduce myself. My name is Sandeep. I'm senior manager. I handle admissions for PGP Max at ISP. Um, and For the participants, if you have any questions, please type into the in the Q&A box at the bottom of the screen here. Right, we will try to take it at the end, probably after 40-45 minutes of the discussion. We have received in a couple of questions, and we will try to collate all those questions and ask our panelists today. And also, we'll take the questions which are related to the students' experience and their answers at this point of stage, and anything relating to admission process. Probably at the end of the session, I'll share a link where you can have a one-on-one discussion with us at the admissions team, right, and speak to us. I'll also share my contact number. So before I start, let me introduce the panel members here today. Good evening, Kapil. So we have Kapil with us. Kapil is the Senior Vice President for an asset management at BluPine Energy Private Limited. He's been in the field of renewable energy for almost 8 years. He's responsible for managing 400 megawatts operating sales in solar energy and is doing an ongoing development of 1 gigawatt plus solar and wind project, and is responsible for managing 400 megawatts operating assets. Right. Also, to give you an idea of the company that he's part of, BluPine Energy Private Limited is a renewable energy platform established by private equity funding partners Actus UK to develop and execute 4 gigawatts of utility and C&I scalable renewable energy projects in India with a committed equity of $800 million. Welcome, Ashwini. Then we have Deepak Gajjala with us. He's the president of operations at LANSUM Properties, an MSc from Sweden, and then almost 19 years of experience across Sweden, Norway, and back to India to join his business. Right, he's responsible to oversee and manage the operations of LANSUM projects. Is deploying strategic methods to improve processes leading to success of the company. The LANSUM Group has built a reputation of creating high-quality projects backed by innovative designs that pave the way for harmonious living. Everything at LANSUM is based upon the simple premise of creating timeless, beautiful, and desirable homes that are purpose-designed for the way people want to live today. Right? Welcome, Deepak.
Thank you, Sandeep.
Then we have Ashwini. Ashwini is the Assistant Vice President at Etech Global Services. He's an all-round leader, again, a very senior global operations leader with an experience of almost 20 years, including 12 years in the senior leadership role in the IT services, BPO, KPO industry, having expertise of end-to-end service delivery, of operations management, training, recruitment, a SaaS-based computer experience analytics, Six Sigma black belt. Right, I just could not copy his entire LinkedIn profile. It is so huge. He's setting up global GDC is his forte, and he can successfully manage the end-to-end setup, growth and success of an offshore and nearshore center. So that's about welcome, Ashwini. That's about our panelists for today. Before we go forward, maybe you would also want to introduce a little more about yourself in terms of where you've started, what you've come this way. Right? Anybody, please.
I think just to add what Sandeep said, from my side, I've been on renewable from last 18 years. I've been doing a role of N-1 been reporting to CXOs. Last organization, I was managing a large team of 300 people plus. So, but anything on the renewable side, been in India from long time. So that has been my forte. You want to talk anything related to renewable, solar, wind, battery storage, green hydrogen, I would be the guy to connect. And happy to support wherever is possible for a new aspirant to be part of that. ISBP guy.
So, Ashwini, shall I take? Hi, everybody. I'm glad to be part of this. Thank you, Sandeep, for having us. Looks like we got a pleasant group of three people. I can name them Ranjit, Saurav, and Vivek. Hello, all. This is Deepak, and I have predominantly lived most part of my career in Europe, and now I moved back to India to look after the family business. So for me, this becomes more or less the main reason, the driver for me to take this program. And like Sandeep has already mentioned what I do and what is it. So what I wanted to say is maybe there'll be a lot of questions, unanswered questions beyond this session. So probably if you guys want to connect anytime, you can always reach out to me any given point of time, and I'm more than happy to take it through. Thank you.
Okay, hello everyone. Sandeep has beautifully tried his best to give my introduction. Even sometimes I get confused because 22 years plus I've done so many things that sometimes it becomes like zero-sum game. I don't even know that what I have to tell. But recently I've been working a lot in merger and acquisition into wellness, technology, and services industry. That's the additional expertise I have gained. But yeah, ISB has been a beautiful journey. My two friends are here, uh, close to heart, Kapil and Deepak. So together, three of us will help all of you who would want to join us, answer your question. But post that, I'm pretty sure you must have seen our LinkedIn profile. Please connect, reach out to us. We are always there to help you guys.
Yeah, thanks for introducing. So before we start off, like Ashwini, Deepak, and Kapil, so when did you actually start thinking about PGPMAX and how did the entire journey start, right? So if you want to share how did it go, what did you think, what all did you assess before joining PGPMAX? How
So
did you
for
zero in on PGPMAX?
so you said Ashwini first, so this time I'll go first.
Yeah.
So so my is a little long stretch kind of a story. I actually was thinking about IIM Ahmedabad PGPX and PGPMAX of ISB since 2016. Now I was pretty sure that I will be giving GMAT and try for IIM Ahmedabad, leaving the job and all the stuff. But in 16th, I got opportunity from company to set up, a global capability center in Jamaica, and I don't wanted to lose that opportunity or miss that opportunity. So I left it. 2019 early, I wanted to, and that's where I got in touch with John. We were talking. I wanted to get into that, but I said thanks to Mahadev. Fortunately, I did not get into PGP Max in 19 because COVID happened and everything went online. And I'm not a big fan of online classes because of my personal weakness of very low level of attention. Um, I need to be present in the classroom atmosphere to keep myself live. But post as soon as COVID moved out and we all started coming out, I went back to John, and there was a guy in IIM Ahmedabad, and had some discussions with all the alumni. I connected with the alumni of PGP Max since I think 11, 12, 10, no, 11, 12, 13, 14 batch. I remember a lot of those people. I was calling them. And that's how I got it. But during COVID, I gave GMAT also because I wanted to keep that option of IIM Ahmedabad open. I scored 683. It was not a great score, but some few alumni of that course in IIM Ahmedabad, they said, Ashwini, you probably will have a chance, but buddy, look at your age. You are getting old now. It's almost 40 to 43. I was not young like Deepak is. So And at that time, I decided that it's better to join class where average age is around 40 plus, not to join a class, where average age is around 28, 29, 30 plus. But the biggest icebreaker was when I was talking to my wife. She said that you should go for ISB because you can retain your job. It's like a double dip. If you go for Ahmedabad, you're going to lose your entire salary, and then at the same time you will pay this. So it was a heavy cost. Um, but and I decided to go for ISB. The other reason was because the profiles of individuals who did this course in the past, many of them I was connected, and I felt that that's the kind of a profile you will become alumni of, which probably will help you in growing in your life. It's a lifelong bonding happens. That's what we experienced when we all went through the rigor in the last 16 months. And the last but not the least, I was pretty impressed with the ranking and the criteria parameters which drives ranking of ISB, like getting international faculty and giving a lot of impetus to the case studies and all those things. So I mean that's how my journey is. And then finally I got into 22 or 23 batch.
Great. Deepak?
Ashwini has pretty much phrased it in the best possible manner. I couldn't agree
You were
more.
you were in fact outside India when we had this discussion, Deepak. I still remember. So
I do. Well, I do remember very well because Sandeep at that time was managing family business program, and he was my point of contact. And thanks to Sandeep, actually, that's the reason why I'm here with PGPMAX. He's the one who actually told me what is best for me at that point of time. So I have similar story like Ashwini. Like there's always been this long-standing ambition to pursue my MBA. So while I was back in Europe, I was looking at scouting at all the different schools in Europe, and I was very sure that for some point of my time I'm going to do it. So I did my GMAT as well. I didn't score as much as Ashwini did, to be honest, but then scored fairly enough to get through some decent business schools back in Europe. But then family asked me to come back. They said that it's time now to come back and look after the business. So that's when I proposed that before I joined the business, I'd like to get into business school, understand the overall aspects of running a business rather than working for a business. So that's when it was my family who were very, very strong in there, and they said there's nothing better than ISB. So you have to get through ISB, and then please do apply and check. And so I did so, and then I had great guidance from people like Sandeep. And I do emphasize again what Ashwini said reverberates amongst all of us. The cohort with whom you're going to spend the rest of 1.5 years is going to be another major reason for you to be part of ISB, and that's been my cause. Decent networking and able to understand the general business context in India.
Great, thank you. And Kapil, you were in the energy sector always, so what brought you to management, in fact?
So actually, so I had two reasons for joining ISB. One, that I've been in the same domain from 17 to 18 years, seen the markets in Middle East, worked for Nordic countries, and then also in India from last 11 to 12 years. So I have grown within the organization at a level of a kind of business unit head. I mean, it's like a P&L role. But I was like last organization managing a large team. I had like 65 sites for around 400 people total team. So I was looking to move from a functional leader to a CXO role. Let's say do a role of the CEO or a CEO role. So that was the aspiration, and somehow I got a bit recognized within the company that I should take a next level role. Where my HR asked me, said that, what do you really want to do? So I told that I have done various roles in the profile. I did my bachelor's from IIT Bombay, so nothing missing from a pedigree point of view. So then I told to my HR that the only thing is missing that whenever in Mumbai, I did a CAT. I am Lucknow, I am Indore call, but somehow I am Lucknow got a third wait list. So that did not get clear. And then I ended up doing a job in Dubai. So something was missing that I did not do that MBA at that time while being in IIT. So then I told the HR that I want to do the MBA, but I had no clue what to do. So she said, yes, why don't you explore? So I went to and met my reporting manager. He's alumni from INSEAD. So he said that, Kapil, do you really want to do? I mean, you want to kill yourself at this age, at this profile, you can go and do the MBA. So, but I said, yes, but I think this is what I should do. So he was a CEO of the company, and then I also went to meet my CEO. He has like a same background. He's also BTech IITB and never did MBA. So I went and asked him. He said that yes, you should do that. He also felt that kind somewhere missing that you should do a professional course. So then my reporting manager, he said that if you really want to do, take a break for 1 year, go to INSEAD, or you go to that Swiss institute and try to do that executive MBA. But the opportunity cost is very high. If I want to leave for 1 year and move over there, so it was very high. So then I started searching it. So then I ended up choosing ISB PGPMAX because that's what I felt is the best in terms of the ranking, in terms of profile. And then I got in. I mean, and my HR supported a lot. There was small funding from my company side, but in a way, I moved out from that company, so I had to pay it back. But that's how the journey started, and I really feel great that I've been part of it. I think that has given a different level of energy within me. There was certain kind of some kind of a you feel yourself settled at a certain position. So this has little bit challenged myself to get out of my comfort zone. And I was bit whenever people used to talk about the numbers, sometimes I used to get little nervous. So I got a confidence at least in terms of finance, valuations, accounts. I can talk to the guys in the language what they used to talk. But me being on a technical side, it was tough for me to I mean, I knew everything, but it's like being a confident over there and able to present everybody what this is what I'm talking about. So I think this journey has taught me over there where I'm more confident. I'm happy that if I want to start something as an entrepreneur, I know how to start, what the models exist. I know the numbers. Even today, me and Greece are out only scouting the investors to do some venture in due course at that time. So that has given another thing. What Ashwini said that
I think that's good.
Okay, his network might have got blocked.
Yes, yeah.
Great. No, no. In fact, Kapil brought up a great point that he's handling huge teams. Similarly, Ashwini, you and Deepak also handle huge teams and all as a part of your work, and then busy schedules, right? Family timelines, everything, right? So, how exactly do you manage your personal and professional work, and also your travel, right? In fact, being at higher positions, you're traveling a lot. So, what do you exactly do? How do you look at everything?
So, so like for me, I'm located in Baroda, and Baroda has just one flight connectivity. Uh, so morning, sometime late. So you go back and you come back. So you can't miss that flight. Otherwise, you have to stay at Bombay Airport entire night. But anyway, that was a funny one. But I think if family must support uh, that you're going to do something which is very rigorous. Though it's a modular program, and it's like it is easy to say that only 1 week every month or alternate month you're going to spend in the campus, but
But you
that
also had
one
those
week,
reading materials, right?
yeah, I was
Reading
coming on
assignments
to
to be
that.
given.
I mean, I felt that 1 week was not that rigorous versus having those pre-reads. I mean, sometimes even 30 days for me was very less to complete even those pre-reads. So it keeps you engaged all the time. So family has to support that. That's why during the journey of decision making, it's important to include them uh, to decide that whether you should do this or not. But there are some compromises, your social obligations, some obligations related to family. You probably will not be able to make it. So the family needs to be there. Second is your workspace, like Kapil was saying, his previous employer, which he left, though they were very supportive for him. See, and they need to be supportive too. So I spent like 18 plus years in this company, and I had some serious discussion. So I have a very metrics kind of reporting structure. I go to CEO on strategy, ops, P&L. On day-to-day SLA, I go to CEO, um, SVP, they sit in the US. For acquisition, I go to chairman. So, talking to all these people and taking them yes and giving them, you know, uh, trust that work will not, get disturbed, performance will not get disturbed. I think when you are at the top level, it doesn't matter how your work schedules are, but ultimately the ultimate output of the team or the ultimate output of the functions or your business should give should be what is expected. So that trust has to be reinforced. Those helps. And then again, it's like planning, scheduling, it all keeps happening. The only thing I used to do very good is that I've always, because known as very good in developing leadership at the top level. So I had my directors who used to report to me. They were like very capable. They were handling business so well that I never used to get call even when I was in the ISB. So my things were all automated. So that is another thing which if someone is handling a scale
Yeah.
with people reporting to them, and if they want to come to courses like this, they have to work on very good development or succession.
So in fact, Kapil,
Yeah.
I took the clue from the point where you said that you're handling large teams and all. So how do you handle your profession in your absence, right? What kind of preparation you've done, your family, your travel, also from your location to Hyderabad, also your
Yeah.
business travel, right? Everything. How do you balance
So,
it out?
I think initially I was trying to mix up my business trip with the 1 week program. Like I'm in operations, so I have a site across India. So if I find it out that I need to visit a particular site, so I'll schedule my calendar in such a way that I'll visit the site and then go over there. But the fundamental was that I was in an organization for 3 years. Like Ashwini said, that he has been in an organization for a longer time, so he has a comfort. So me as a function leader, I had a bit of comfort at a CXO level that if I tell them I'm not available for a week, he will say, okay, just make sure the work gets done. So and this COVID scenario, which has brought virtual things in the picture, people know that it's not necessary for you to be in office. You can get the work done. So it is challenging, but the good part is that you get a four weekends in the campus. Like you start from Friday and finish by next Sunday. So I do a three days weekend where limited work is there. And for rest of days, I knew that I have a break from a 10 to 10:30. Then I knew I have a break from 12 to 1, and then I knew I have a break after 4:30 onwards. So if I need to schedule any business work, I need to schedule accordingly. That I'll take the call be during that time, so that my business also does not get affected, and I keep continuing working over there. And other thing that since company was supportive, they knew that when I'm an ISP, they don't expect much. So and initially they were pushing me. Later on, they realized that this guy goes 1 week away, and people are happy with that. So if the organization is supportive, no issues at all. Family is bit they struggle because it is like you feel it's a 4 weeks down the line, but it comes very fast. So वो एक challenge होता है, but I think otherwise. But I think it's a great journey. I mean, I don't look into one thing in a piece, but looking into whole 15 months, I think it's a great journey to be part of it. Going to US, going to London, seeing a different institute, understanding their philosophy. So you really value those things. So I really valued a lot when I was in Wharton. Uh, I mean, my whole perspective about M&A got changed when I saw the case studies of Cisco and other M&A case studies. I mean, how could you do a 200 acquisition? Because I am in a private equity firm as of now, and I do multiple M&A activities, which is like 100 million, $150 million one deal. And I used to, since I'm being coming from a greenfield side, so always say that you lose the value when you do the M&A. But after going to Wharton, I realized no, it's not. I mean, the way the case studies has been shown, it's a totally different story. That M&A brings different value. So you start learning, you start appreciating those things within the organization, which ultimately help us. I mean, today my perspective is changed. So whenever any M&A comes, I look into different way.
Nice.
So
Interesting.
great journey till December.
Professional
Now we
pursuit.
start
Nice.
missing it. Yeah, yeah.
So Deepak, for you, real estate company operations is not so professional as it will be for Ashwini and Kapil, where they'll say, "Okay, you go, we'll take care," right? So how do you handle that?
So again, phrasing the question, what you asked, Sandeep, you mentioned that how do you balance out your professional and your personal life? Well, let me take first with the personal front. Just on the 12th of July, I had my second son. He's born on the 12th of July, and then in August, we started our course at ISB. So on the personal front, I did have a lot of support, and thanks to my wife, who's an accomplished pediatrician, and she's also joined the family business. So talking about the support, I had all the support thanks to her and the extended family that I've got. But then it's not that easy as you put it. Like you rightly mentioned, it's not completely structured. Real estate on its own is not completely structured.
Yeah.
But then we've also moved into different verticals. We have moved into commercial real estate as well as into hospitality at the same time during this period of time. So there was a lot of commitment towards different stakeholders was needed. So, and even though it was a family business, I was also reporting to a CEO of the company who was extremely structured, and he would not give up on anything. He would say that, yes, you're going for your course, but this is part of it. You have to do it. You have to get these things done, and then you head off, and then I'm not going to trouble you. So there were strict lines there for me drawn. So I had things to do, but for that, I have to sincerely thank my subordinates who were there. And there were times they used to come inside the campus to get things done. The breaks that we used to get, I used to sit with them in the atrium. By the way, you guys were going to be part of ISB soon. You're going to find this experience. It's extremely enhancing because you have this huge place where you can sit and work and interact with a lot of people. So that's one place where I could sit and work during the breaks and then do the work that needs to be done. So in short, it's not easy to balance. It was extremely challenging, but then thanks to a lot of support that I got from work as well as family, I sailed through.
Great, great. In fact, Kapil also brought up a point on the international immersions, right? So, fortunately, your batch actually completed both of your international immersions, if I'm not wrong, at the Wharton School and the LBS. So, would you want to share your experience about the international immersions and how has it helped, or what is the value addition of that to the program? Anybody?
I think, as I already said that, I changed my perspective on the M&A when I have attended Wharton program. The other great thing which I saw at our London Business School was that they taught about that how the business mixed with the culture. So at Wharton, Professor Daniel, if I remember his name correctly, so he taught that how does in London different pockets have a different business model, and that business model is not only limited for any particular company or any particular kind, because the culturally all those pockets are different. He told that there are certain pockets where Gujarati people are living, there's certain pocket where Sikh people are living, certain pocket where British people are living, and how do you make your business in such a way that you fit within those cultures. So that cultural aspect was great to see that even London being, I mean, if you look into India, obviously not that big place, but even in the London city, you can't see it as a one. You may see like a multicultural societies, multicultural business environment. So mixing the business with the culture, that was a great learning which I saw, and the note what he shared with us, I think I still kept it just for a read. So and I think so. There I saw that this cultural understanding makes a make a lot of sense when you want to grow your business in a tenfold. That was from London side. And Wharton, I told that I think whole M&A perspective was changed because the way it has been taught. And in Wharton also, we played a kind of a marketplace game where there was a software we had to run through. We had to create a business environment. We had to set up our parameters, and then we had to see how the company's turnovers and the valuation is coming. So changing the parameters, business in the environment, changing various parameters, how does it impact in your overall turnover and the financials. That was great learning. I mean, it's not necessary that something which we believe should work does not work in a marketplace.
So simulation tool kind of a thing.
Simulation tool, yeah, that was simulation tool where it was a full marketplace. So those two things were great learning from a warden side.
Great. Great. Deepak, you've anyways studied outside, you worked outside. So your experience, takeaways from the international immersion.
For me, staying there in Europe for the past 2 decades, for me, it felt normal. I kind of, if I have to be brutally honest, I kind of enjoyed every moment of ISB in the Hyderabad campus. The best part of ISB is wherever they send you, whichever university they pick the right schools that fit in the profile. They do the brain work that is needed, what fits for this profile, and then they pick the right professors and the right strategic courses that are needed. So in that way, I didn't feel much of a difference going back doing it in Europe or in America. Uh, for Wharton, yes, I would definitely agree. The mark start was a great eye opener to see how you place your company when you're trying to, especially for entrepreneurs out there. You got to see how you're going to place your company, what would be the impact. So you got to see well in advance what's going to happen if you place a product at this point of time, this part of the market, and how it's going to affect your business. Those are the learnings that we've taken from Wharton. So Wharton experience was definitely an eye opener for me personally. I did really enjoy interacting with the professors. That was great. Yeah.
Great. Ashwini, any takeaways from your international experience?
These two guys have done a wonderful job adding, they have made a very good executive summary already to you and the participants. But so I will not repeat everything, but um, of course, it's unlearning on the market strategy. What Kapil was referring at the simulation, it was like we used to wake up at around 6:37, and it used to keep us awake till 12 midnight. So that rigor was there. But then while you simulate, you end up learning how to price your product, when to launch which product, which market, which segment to eye for. M&A was a learning for me. I'm new to this last 2 years. So like Kapil is like a seasonal merger acquisition guy. So I mean, it's like a complete learning for me. Company acquiring like 200 unit companies, or every time they are acquiring and unlocking the value, that's a new learning. I London Business School was great in terms of innovation, in terms of entrepreneurship, case study, and the way they taught. What I also wanted to add is that international immersion somewhere actually in make it actually pushes that intimacy within the cohort, because it's this program is not just about academy. This program is also about networking, connect between each other, because you never know, like two, three of you share a frequency, have some idea for last 10, 20, 15 years. And if you have created that connect or intimacy, you end up, creating a baby out of that idea. So international immersion, what I felt, um, builds that intimacy
Has brought the
very well,
cohort together.
because
Yeah.
because you are on your own, and you have your own cohort friends to fall back on. You spend so much time with them. So it brings you back together. It makes you understand each other very well. So I think that is the add-on, along with what Kapil and Deepak had shared.
That's great points you brought on, Ashwini. Even having spent almost 10, 15 years in the leadership role, you got to learn a different aspect of leadership through M&A
Yeah.
and other things. That's really nice. That just goes on to show that why a lot of business leaders who are already at CEO, CXO roles still come back to PGPMAX and still go ahead and do the program. And you also touched upon the point of learning from the cohort, which again is a very important value proposition in PGPMAX, right? So we at admissions do a lot of work in terms of identifying candidates, and the admissions committee finally decides on the profiles and everything. Like, you have a very diverse profile, right? You must be having people from defense in your business, right? People from different
Yes, of
sectors, right?
course.
So, right. So how did that benefit you? How did that help you in this journey?
So
That's
like,
Or,
yeah,
or
yeah,
what
go
what
ahead.
what new things came up with the
New
peers?
things for all you're there. The best thing that I see is this: what you learn in the classroom is one thing, and then there is also something as peer learning. Like you get to meet people like Ashwini, which probably in my whole life probably I would have bumped into him, and Kapil out there. And these are all the guys that come from different corners of India. So I know that end of the course, you'll realize that they become part of your family. So you can lean on them, you can ask them, you can approach any given point of time a topic that is relevant to an industry that I'm not aware of. Like I could pick up my phone and ask a couple, hey, I got this idea about renewable energy. Do you think I should go ahead or I shouldn't? And to get the same question answered, probably I have to pay a ton of money to a consultant to do so. And there he's just a phone call away and he'll do the math and tell me, Deepak, here you are. Here is what you're projecting. Down the lane in 2 years' time, this is where you're going to land up. So I would refrain you from doing so. Rather than do something else, this is what I propose. And rather listen to him, to a consultant whom I've already paid a lot of money. So these are several aspects of ISB which you cannot see right now, but then end of the course you will see that you've taken so much. I'll give you one personal experience of mine. That's again thanks to ISB. Like I traveled with my whole family to Dubai, and then my 6-year-old got sick. So now that I got a little worried, but then I had some of my ISB colleagues whose husband he was a doctor out there, and we didn't have to reach her. But then she picked up the phone and she said only one thing: "What come may, I'm there for you. Just relax, enjoy your holiday. If anything goes wrong, we are there. Don't worry." And that sound of that those words are good enough for you to say that okay, I'm fine, I can handle the situation. So these are the things that ISB gives you. These what do you call the intangibles, you can say, that you can take away from ISB. And that's I'm always grateful to ISB for that. For the peer, they became my extended family at a given point of time. They are the ones I would reach out to. That's how it is. Yeah, you guys want to add something, please?
I this time we'll have Kapil going last. Otherwise, he answers everything what I want to answer. So, but anyway, so along with what Deepak has added, I think peer-to-peer learning, all coming from diverse background, actually, so person like me is always in tech services, right? So what network I have built is 90% into tech services industry. So probably 10% outside this industry. So when you have a cohort who is so much diverse, you end up building a network or connect with the people coming from different background. Now, as soon as you connect with the people from different background, we start learning about their perspective of dealing with a particular situation. Now, in business situations, at the base level happen same in every industry, but the way we deal with that is different, correct? Because of our own industry or domains, whatever. That is something which you learn when you are in class and when people like Kapil is speaking or on particular subject, Deepak is speaking or someone else speaking from pharma or a defense guy is speaking. You can hear a different perspective on a same situation coming out, and that gives you a multiple option to deal with that situation when you go back and practice what you have learned. That is something I wanted to add, that this modular structure is very helpful if you are working and doing this course instead of taking a break, because you can learn and then go back and implement some of, maybe your role might not allow you to implement everything, but something which you feel I can implement and test. I mean, that's the best way. You can fall back on your peers, cohorts, to take their help, improvise on it, go back to professors. So I think that actually stretches, that actually make your thought process a bit vast, and that's what the beginning of a thought leader happens, right? And when we talk about CXO and C-suite and whatever C or entrepreneurship, it's all about thought leadership. So I think that's what helps when you have a peers coming from all different diverse background. As per me, I mean,
Yeah, great.
hear what Kapil says.
Yeah. So Kapil, how did this thought leadership of your peers actually being from the renewables energy help you?
So I can see a lot of prospective clients, there are a lot of industry guys, if I had to go for a pharma, I know I whom to talk in Dr. Reddy's, correct? If I had to go in a real estate that I want to supply a power, I know I can connect with Deepak that this is what is going to happen. If I want to somewhere on digitalization, I can go back and tell to Ashwini, this is the SaaS-based product which I'm trying to implement. Can you help me how to makes you better. So that's a great, I have been seeing, so whenever I was in a class multiple times, I got that idea that a lot of prospective clients are sitting, I'm the investor, I'm ready to put the money and these guys are ready to buy the power. So, and that's 74 of us. 73 of us, everybody come from different backgrounds. So it's a great, I think peer-to-peer learning is great. And even what we did here in Delhi ensure that we also had like a kind of core group where we're studying together. So it's like when the student want to, they don't get too much time. So it's like we started having a classes on Saturday to Sunday in Zoom's call where we do all pre-read together. So when we go to the campus, we have less pressure because we have read. So it's like we divide all the pre-read like Deepak. If I ask Deepak to present one case study, he will read and present to us and tell us this is what this case study means. We don't wait for a professor to start teaching us.
Yeah.
So that helped us a lot.
Great.
So all those lot of peer-to-peer support.
Nice. So, interestingly, Kapil, you brought up the point that you were able to identify customers in the class, but there's always this question, right? Before every PGPMAX applicant, before he joins the program, is thinking about the fees is high. There's quite a lot of time investment going into this, right? And PGPMAX does not offer a direct placement too. And there's this question: should I spend this kind of money right now because it's sizable? So, what do you have to speak about in terms of ROI? Right? You never had those thoughts, or how did you? How is the actual program addressed all that for you?
So I think I was just talking to one of the aspirant while back here in Jaipur itself. She's trying to apply for. So me and Girish both told her that you don't look into only from ROI point of view. Just look into that. What is your motive to be part of it? I just say that my motive was to move a one ladder up from a functional leader to a CS role where I should be able to sync with the investors, to sync with those guys the way they talk. That was my motive. My motive was not to change a job, to change the placement. Because if somebody is having a 18 years or 20 years of a career like Ashwini, they have achieved. Ashwini itself is a great leader. He's already at a leadership role. So it's not about changing because everybody is a leader. Also out of 74, I had a very senior persons who are they're like a CEO at a CXO role. There's certain guys who have run the business like more than 1,000 crores of the business. They're running into it. Got a fund managers who are running their portfolio of hundreds of crores. So they are already there at a leadership level. It's more about that you think from your body. If you're thinking only for a placement point, probably PGPMAX may not be a right place to start with. Then you need to take a drop and go back and do the PGP. But if you feel that where you are at a certain level, you want to take a different, want to move to a different level, and you feel something is missing, then please join PGPMAX because it will not only give a journey, so it gives a perspective in all the directions. One is, as I said, that my motive was more of valuation finance, but it also comes with the leadership. There are multiple leadership related courses. We had a one course where we were totally so we had a different perspective about general. There's a course in society and business, how the society is linked with the business. It's like a totally different course. It's totally eye opener, and everybody has a 74 people had a 74 different perspective. And when the course started, like, it's what the hell we are learning. But when the class gets over, it's a totally different perspective.
Right.
So how does society merge with the business? Leadership courses, multiple leadership courses happen during the whole 12 terms. Marketing classes, how does the pricing studies happen in the airlines? I never thought that how does the pre-make launch prices get happen? How does the multiple concept has been taught during that class. And same goes for microeconomics, macroeconomics. You go through the fundamentals, but you also, so this will give a fundamental concept clarity of the various topics. But then you want to take that particular topic to excel, then you need to go further deep. So it all depends what your motive are. Everybody's motive could be different.
Yeah, it's like leveraging the learnings. In fact, that's what you're saying.
Yeah, exactly. Leverage the learning.
Leverage the learnings and implement and work hard to make it a success.
Yeah,
well said,
correct.
well said, Kapil. Deepak, you want to add?
Yeah, there's a couple of such quite interesting points of it. My personal observation is with the PGPMAX program, it's something unique about it. It's extremely unique about it. The professors, before they get into your class, they kind of look into the profile of each student.
Yeah.
And you'd be surprised why they do so. They're surprised because there are leaders out there sitting in the classroom who are actually experts in the chosen case. For
Yeah.
example, the professor already knew that who were from Zomato in our classroom. There were people sitting from Zomato. So the moment he sits in, okay, now I'm going to talk about Zomato. So there's nothing against it, but this is what it is. What is your perspective? And they take it well. When they say that this is completely wrong, what you guys have thought about Zomato or whatever the company is, H&M, whatever it is, but they kind of take the learning back from the students. They do agree that yes, you're right. This shouldn't have happened. Say, for example, in the case it states something, but then that's not completely true. The professor accepts it. It's like this is how it is, and we do agree with that. So yes, for me, the most important aspect was peer learning. I could see sitting next to one of these guys and learning a lot of things, and as much as I learned from the professor.
Great. Great. So Deepak, from the point that you brought about on faculty and learning research, right? Case studies, especially on Zomato. So I've heard from couple of your colleagues also that a lot of Indian case studies are being discussed. Um, so what do you have to talk about the faculty and the research that's being done at ISB, and how has it actually benefited the class?
The brilliant part about ISB, what I've personally seen is when they talk about the Indian case studies, they go to point they actually drag in the person who is responsible for that. For example, when they took up the Nestle India's case study, they brought in the ex-CEO of Nestle. He was sitting inside with us in the classroom.
Wow.
And so possibly in my whole lifetime, probably I wouldn't have never interacted with that person one-on-one and try to understand. And there were so many bottled up questions in my head because I knew a couple of things that have happened, transpired during that time. So I could approach him directly and I could ask him, "Do you think this is right? This is what has happened?" And he would immediately clarify, "This is what has happened, Deepak. You're absolutely right. This is what has happened." So there was another case which I'm really thankful and grateful is the stock case, and then the lady from the family, Fernandez, she was there. She was there and she was interacting with us one on one. So that's when it was an eye opener for me because me being based out of Hyderabad, I didn't know that about anything about Fernandez Hospital, and then I did have a newborn. Fernandez is basically for maternity related for
Yeah.
newborn. So that's quite a popular hospital in Hyderabad, and they're doing fantastic. So I would have never got that opportunity again. So these are the kind of tangibles. When the topic earlier came up, what are the takeaways? After paying this kind of money, what are your takeaways? Not just your peer, you also get to interact with these people, and it is up to you how much you could network because people are open. You just walk through the corridor. I mean, you. If you're in doubt, you bump into Sandeep, for example, and you ask him, Sandeep. I mean, this is where I'm stuck at, and this is my objective is to get this particular thing. Can you tell me? Can you guide me through? I
Right.
put my life to it. He'll draw a roadmap to you. He'll draw a roadmap to you, and he'll tell you this is what you have to do. The next step of you is go here, do this. After this course, come back here and do this, and that's it. You're sorted. So these are the things that probably you would have never got if you were somewhere else or doing it online. So this is my.
Yeah. Yeah. Ashwini, you want to add on about the faculty in the research and how it
Oh,
affects the added value?
yeah, absolutely. So, I mean, just to have on a lighter note, so when we started our program, we used to see case studies of like 15 years old, 20 years old, and we were like, what is this? Going back to your previous question on fees, it's very expensive.
Yeah.
And the rationality should be that it is expensive. It's not an easy program to go into. So we used to think in that way, but when the course progresses and we saw that the real case hero is in front of us, virtually or physically, and actually talking about the case, and that was the aha moment. I mean, I have done MBA in operations management long back.
Long back, yeah.
Almost like 9, 10 years ago.
Correct.
But I never had that opportunity. We had some case there. It was more of an academic program. But the Tata Steel guy talking to us for the Tata Steel case. Nikhil was talking for emphasis. He was in New York late night, early morning, I think, and he was talking about the case with us. Recently, we had this recycle guy, Anirudh, in the class doing the entire case with us. I think the GVK or GMR, if I forget, the main uh, guy who directly goes to the GMR guy, he was with us. I mean, so many of these guys. I mean, that's the different moment. It's okay to listen to your professors, faculty, all the academics, but what I felt is that um, the professors, they prepare well and they get the person in front of you who is actually executing the case, who is actually the executor in real life, so that you can learn from that person, and when the situation happens, you can execute it. So, I mean, that was the aha moment for us, just like what Deepak was saying.
Kapil, you want to add on?
I think Ashwini already picked up this GMA part, correct? I mean, I never thought that to make it. So I was part of some way. I was part of when the Terminal 3 of Delhi International Airport was getting built up.
Yeah.
But I never got an opportunity to see that how the whole development has happened. And that came through the case study. And then Mr. Rao also came in a class and they told us that how this has happened. So, understanding the structure of AI versus, Airport Authority of India, and then what was the role of JEBA, what are the role of government of India, central government of India. So all those kind of, I mean, open up a, that change your thought process. It's not that like in Delhi. So when the Delhi Metro came, that's a big change for overall as a country. The way the Delhi Metro got developed. In the same way, when the Terminal 3 Delhi International Airport got developed, that's a different class. You could really see that these kind of airports are very limited in the worldwide. I mean, I've been traveling multiple places in Europe, and I also saw the US airport. I think it's one of the best airport in the world. So when you get to know about its development journey, it becomes eye opener. So multiple cases. Deepak picked up on a hospital case. That was also great learning for all of us. And when she came on the board, how does the maternity whole concept of how she started as a maid, not necessary to be a fancy situation. Or it's not necessary to have a baby with the operation. Focus more on the maid point of view. So it's all. It has been all. I mean, every case was bringing a new prospect of new aspect, which we never thought in that direction.
Yeah,
Whether it's a
probably.
case of Jara, yeah, or whether a case of Uniqlo, how does it is vertically integrated, how the numbers are working. So overall, great. All the
Yeah.
cases were great.
It's interesting because when I studied, I think I never remembered a case after it start, even the next day. And you guys are like literally viewing it like a movie right now in front of your eyes. Right? That's the kind of uh, memory it's being built, right? That's fantastic. In
No,
fact,
no, let me correct you there, Sandeep. Well, I have a couple of words, guys. They're out there. Here we might paint ISB really sweet, but there is some part of ISB. There's a dark side of ISB, which probably they would not tell you about. The dark side is they're extremely heartless. Even though this is a program for 1 week, the 3 reads are worth 3 weeks. It's like you being force fed 3 weeks of stress. You got to endure that. That kind of prepares you. It's like going for a tactical assault. It's like one of those things that they prepare you for. So ISB in that way is extremely heartless. You got to gear up yourself for that. The 1.5 year program is just not for a week. It's going to be there for all 4 weeks because they prepare so much of content for you to go through. And it's extremely interesting. It is up to you how much you're going to get into it. But they put in a lot of effort to build this. So my recommendation is if you can put your time into it, do that.
yeah, not just the academics. In fact, Deepak, as you mentioned, the faculty and the academic committee. In fact, just 3 to 4 years ago, during COVID, in fact, thought about how to make your tougher schedules much tougher, and they and add more value to you. That's when the executive coaching came in. It was not there from day one. It
Okay.
just came in 3 to 4 years ago, and
Yeah, it's a
Welcome.
it's a bit balanced course. It's not like that too much. I mean, obviously there are stress moments, but it is quite balanced from that point of view. I think one thing is that you are paying high fee for it, so you should be mentally prepared to take everything, all the learning out of it.
To work hard,
I mean,
right?
it's not a cheap fee for a whole course. I think
Correct.
one of the thing I still remember is that when Professor Balakundi said that the whole concept of making MBA or doing executive MBA was to prepare you for a leadership role or a CXO role. So this whole 12-term journey is for that. If you're looking into that, if you want to be at a leadership role, if you go through all the 12 terms, probably it will help you throughout the life.
So, Kapil, how did the executive coaching add further value to you?
No, I already said that, this is more about preparing for the larger role. I feel that I'm more comfortable, more confident to take a role. I mean, irrespective of the profile, what it is. But
Mhm.
if somebody says that I may not be related to that business, but if somebody says that you need to develop it, probably I know how to start with. So, I mean,
Great.
rest depends on the business dynamics, but I know how to start.
Kapil, you want to add something on the executive coaching being offered as a value addition in the last 3-4 years?
Sorry, I did not understand what kind of executive coaching you're talking about.
I
So,
will
Anything
add to
in
this.
between.
I will add
Yeah,
to this. Probably Kapil will pick it up. So better up. The coaching which happened through Better Up for all of us. It was actually so I did not had a force mentor in my career, unfortunately or unfortunately. Yes, you learn bits and pieces from everyone, but if someone would come and tell me that Ashwini, who is your mentor in corporate life, I was like blank. I like who I don't know who's my mentor. But Better Up when happened, it actually gave me a mentor, and of course they have their code of ethics. They can't give you coaching and all those post that because they're buying, but they are connecting. They remain connected with you lifelong on LinkedIn. They can give you some tips. So it's like a hand holding. So they are there. I remember 4 different coaches within that 3 months, and because I needed help on a couple of things related to EI and EQ and all those sort of things. So, and the coach which I had for EI was someone in Singapore, and she was highly qualified coach, and she had actually coached some top guns in Google, Facebook, and she was in the Singapore government also. And so that was like the way she was actually helping you, mentoring you. It actually, opens your uh, brain thinking that, oh, I was doing it in this way for last 20 years, and all of a sudden someone comes and say that, what are you doing? This is not the way. This should be the way you should do, and give you a framework. And when you follow that framework, you actually realize that, oh, this is a far better way because this is more efficient and gives you more result with less push. When I say push means you don't have to completely overwork on it, right? So that's one part. The second part, of course, a lifelong person, someone who is with you for long, gives you that connect. They can give you tips and everything. I mean, I still go to 2 of them on LinkedIn for when I get stuck on something. Um, and third is, I feel they're experts in their own topics as far as the executive coaching is concerned. So I was looking at the experts as far as my topics were concerned, and that's how Better Up actually, with some AI, they actually show you the names. They have the questions, you fill those answers, and then by default, the coach's name comes, and you select the coach and you schedule, and that's how it happens. So yeah, I mean, that was great, no doubt about it. But along with that, when you talk about executive coaching, I felt that it's not just Better Up. Even some of our professors, they were like, I say legendaries. I mean, um, Kapil was talking about Balkundi. I mean, he's like, I mean, I have done 2 sessions of 1.5 hours, 2 hours each, and he's like ready to help you. Uh, what a person he is. I mean, he picked up a couple of instances of my childhood without me telling him, and he's assuming that because of those instances, that's why you're behaving like this. And I was like, wow, you're right. And second is recently we had
So
a
these are like the
professor.
informal discussions after classroom that you've had with the
Yeah, I
professor.
mean they are available. I mean,
Yeah,
that's
they're
an
available.
executive coaching, right? I mean,
Absolutely.
the other guy was Dr. BVR Sastry. I mean, I mean, the other one is this BMI professor, right? Srivastava, sir. I mean, the other one is who taught us. I mean, he's pretty legendary, and he taught us actually tech course in Mohali. I mean, these guys are like full of experience. I mean, 40 years, 50 years, they have seen more generations. I mean, you can always fall back on them. That's the asset of ISB. I think once, so that's the probably I'll divert that. But I want to add this to, I don't want to forget this. So before ISP, I used to struggle creating my network because I didn't have a heavyweight uh, corporate name or heavyweight school name. Though my college is quite popular because when Ajit Doval became NSA, it became popular that oh he was the alumni of that college. But still, and in India, fortunately or unfortunately, you see the heavyweights name in the profile. Oh, this guy is from American Express. Okay, accept. Oh, he's sending me from Bank of America. Accept. But I did not had that, and so when ISB came in my profile, and when I send a message for a connect or for advice or for quick call, people just accept it, and they are ready to talk to you. That's the ISB magic. And beyond that, these professors, I mean, they are like treasure. I mean, anyone who is going through the course, I mean, please utilize. I feel now, post the completion of course, I could have done a better job in taking maximum out of these professors. I mean, they are like banks. They are like SBI of experience. I mean, they can help you in any situation in your life.
Yeah, but this ecosystem is still available actually, so for a lifetime,
Yeah,
as we always
yeah,
say. So Kapil,
yeah.
you
But
want to add on to
I
what?
think from my side, one of the things which has helped me a lot during this exercise for the session, the better of that. When I joined ISB, I had a certain management in the organization. The company was listed in New York. Uh, a lot of things were pretty transparent. But during the journey, my whole management got changed. My CXOs had quits and bit turbulence, stock prices were like very high that suddenly crashed. Market sentiment, and there are a lot of negative data within the organization. So that helped a lot. I think during the journey, better or there are certain sessions which professors are taking, let's say for a change management. I mean, that helped me to understand how does really a change happen within the organization, when to freeze it, when to unfreeze it, how to communicate it. Those were excellent, concept which has been taught us. On a personal wise, I was a bit struggling on a stress management point of view. I opened up with my sister and I said, okay, she has told certain techniques. I think from probably during, I mean, I've been a part of earlier the leadership, course for 1.5 years from a Nordic company. So I knew how those sessions happen, but during this whole change management thing, when you get this kind of support, it helps you to collect your thoughts and move in the right direction. So that helped me a lot. I was able to get out of that whole negativity and started letting.
This
Okay.
just about a small thing. I'll take a
Yes,
minute to
Deepak.
add to what the BetterUp is a great thing, but one of the unfortunate things is I missed out on BetterUp because I had some family issues back then. But the great thing that I've seen, what I've noticed from my colleagues is they found a solace in talking to someone. The beauty of BetterUp is ISB has tailored it at a point of time when exactly when you need it. It's like you're running out of fuel in your tank, and that's when you need someone to tell you that it's only a couple of miles from here. So that's the beauty that ISB has done, that they have put it in the middle of little beyond the middle of the term, middle of the course, so that program, so that you can get the help that you need. Because what I have seen personally is there are a lot of people who have fallen down because it is not easy. Max program is definitely not easy. It's just going on a Himalayan trek. If you had to put it in an analogy sort, it's like going on Himalaya. You get all excited, you get up with energy, and then after you walk a couple of miles, that's when you realize that did I do the right thing? Is it? But the end is really beautiful. But the only thing is the middle of the journey is when you get exhausted completely. That's when you need all the support, and then BetterUp is there. Although I missed out on BetterUp, the best thing that I've got, I wouldn't call it the second best, I call it the best. I've observed my peers. I got to quote one example here. We went out, and there is Kapil was the one who's organized everything, and everything was falling apart. That was in Goa. Everything was falling apart, and he had this. He kept his demeanor so cool. I was like, oh, nothing. There's things will fall apart, Deepak. That's okay. Things will fall apart, but then what can you do? But then it's fine. We'll survive. So these are the things that you learn from your peer. And that was an eye opener for me. The moment I looked up to him, and then he was saying that, okay, things have gone wrong, but that's not a problem, Deepak. We will live. So you'll learn from your peers quite a lot. Even if you missed out like me, just look up to your peers and you'll
And
feel that
learn
you haven't missed out.
Yeah, of course, of course. Just for
You know,
the
I
information.
just said that
Yeah.
I learned a lot of things to let it go. I mean, so I don't get easily, now I don't get easily too much stress out. Earlier it was like something not happening in my way, like a children. Today it's okay, it's part of life. So you just let it go.
Fantastic, fantastic. Just for the participants, right? BetterUp is an access which you get somewhere between the course, right? Not a part of the 1 week, but it is out of that 1 week, where you have to key in your profile details and a lot of other details, questions that keep come up, and the system will automatically identify some of the coaches and areas of coaching that you would want to have, wherein you will have this access for 90 days. This has been a value addition for the program. Right, so I'll take last question. Now I'll not take much time. But before that, for the participants, I'm in the chat box. I'm putting a one-on-one link wherein all the other questions. I see a lot of questions there, so you could schedule a one-on-one call with us at the admissions team, and we'd be happy to have an open discussion with you on different a lot of other things which we cannot cover in the session here. Right. So to everyone here, the entire 15 months is coming to an end now. And many things would have aspired of what you would have already planned. But how has this the entire journey been transformative for you?
Ashwini, you want to go first?
For yeah, go ahead, Deepak.
Oh, no, I'm asking you to go first.
Very clever move. Deepak always puts me on spot. But anyway, you know, I can tell you the easy things, right? The layman thing. So um, it's okay. I mean, to be in the industry for 20 years, doing PNL and all those sort of things, right? But when I used to read Financial Times or Economic Times, there are some terminologies, right? Leverage, ratios, valuations. I mean, you know, generic view of valuation, but what exactly it means when it comes to financial perspective. Some organizational development terminology. I'm not talking about jargon. I'm talking about when you read those things, are you able to connect with them? That actually has started happening with me. Now, when I look at, I just give you example. When I look at my mutual fund portfolio, I look at some of those alpha, beta, deviation more clearly, and I don't have to do calculation. I know that okay, if alpha is this much, there is a problem. So I mean, this happens because of this course. I mean, the way the professors have taught. I mean, I was not deep into that. The second is asking questions. Um, at the top level, when you grow up, every, everyone who knows they've been working at senior or from mid to senior, when you grow up, you're not in execution level. You are basically into strategy or planning, where you basically going to ask questions, right, to get the best out of your team. Um, so what this course tells you is this course actually helps you with the how and what to ask in terms of questions, so that the team comes out with the best approach. Third is the framework. For every in every module of the course, we have got a framework, and I have tested almost like many of those frameworks, not all, wherever the situation permitted, and it works. If you test them realistically in your own functions and roles, responsibility, it actually works. It gives you the result. And result is not always revenue or numbers, right? Result is also about how your people are feeling and what their satisfaction is, how you're adding moral, how you're driving their motivation, how you're inspiring them, because those are the skills which are needed in future as far as the leadership is concerned. I mean, some of these transformations which I see has happened with me. And last but not the least, what Kapil just mentioned, let it go. The let go thing has happened to me, not only in work life, but also in personal life. So whenever something comes from wife and I don't agree, I don't argue. I just say, okay, fine, let's go ahead. So let it go. I mean, and when I say let go, it doesn't mean you're becoming complacent, but you are telling your people, okay, go ahead and try something new, what you feel is going to work. But you are around, you're navigating them through the learnings which you had so that you see them successful.
Yes. Deepak?
I completely agree what Ashwini has said. I mean, there's nothing more than that. I can also see that there are a lot of people have asked a lot of questions here. Again, I emphasize if you guys want to connect to any one of us, I'm sure we are okay to be connected one-on-one through Sandeep. It's okay to share our numbers and as well as our email. So all you out there, this is a great program. I wouldn't deny that. If not for it, I wouldn't have met those two brothers which I've not known, and the 70 more that are there out there who are not part of this, but they are very close to us. They're always there. And the best bit of this program, what I could say is, whichever part of the city you go, you're going to get into an organization. You can walk into any of the company. I always tell my peers, I mean, if I ever come and visit your company, treat me like a VIP. And these guys are all MDs and vice presidents of all the companies. So this is nothing less you could expect. So you go out there, reach out to any city, any major city in India or abroad, you'll always be treated. I have a great story to tell you. This has happened only because of ISB. Again, the hidden thing, the people behind the screen is definitely ISB. ISB has created it. We had an IPS officer who is part of our this thing. He's a DIG of police. And I had a couple of friends from Norway who came to visit me. So I booked this wonderful resort in Rajahmundry. That's another part of a town in AP, and it was raining profusely and it was flooding, so the resort had to be closed. So I land at the airport and then I tell him that I'm stuck here. I get my cars, I'm ready to go, I'm leaving. Then he said, like, hang on a moment, and he arranges a huge escort. I mean, two police cars following us, taking us out of the city. I mean, these sort of intangibles I'm telling you about. What is that your takeaways? This is not a place that you think that I'm going to get a job or something. This is not it. This is up to you, how much you could network, how much you could interact. Your interaction helps. I have another wonderful story to tell you. I was walking the corridor and there were other programs. There were people. ISB does this wonderful thing called leadership programs. And these last for 3 days to a week. So these people are with you during your time within the campus. You get to interact with those people. These people are heads of different organizations or family run businesses. So I interacted with one of the ladies over there, and she was running a huge organization. I didn't know when I was talking to her that she was heading an organization, a massive organization that she has built up with her own hands. And now she has become one of the top entrepreneurs of India. And recently she has floated. She had made a complete public. So you can imagine she built a company, and it is a lady who did this. So I'm really grateful for all of those things, which I cannot put it in a thing and tell that this is what you get out of ISP.
Yeah, and
ISP gives you a lot.
Yeah, and you can walk past them in a corridor at ISP.
And a corridor and say hi and hello to them. So be open. My
Yeah.
only advice is be open and be kind to everybody. That's the only thing. Be humble, be nice, be kind to people, and that's how you're going to meet people like Ashwini and Kapil and make friends for a lifetime.
Kapil, your last statements, please.
Yeah, I think so. One of the leadership trait which everybody sees and whatever you read and study, that you should be a kind of a role model for your juniors or your surroundings. So when I got admission here in ISP, when I started studying it, a lot of people say that why you want to do it, you are at a decent career, decent salary, great profile. But after a certain time, I start seeing that multiple people came and they really appreciated it and they got inspired and they kept asking that how you are managing it. So I think that inspiration, even if it is 10 people are getting inspired from your journey, I think that's a great achievement. So even I have two daughters, and my wife, he felt that you can't do it, it's tough for you to do it. But we've been able to go through it, and today I feel proud that we have completed it. So I mean, being a little inspiration for my daughter itself is a great thing to do, and even in just a 1 month, I'm seeing that what should I do next? So even I was talking with some of my friends that let's do a CFA and register ourselves, do a couple of level courses over there. So probably if you would have asked 2 years before, I would have not thought to enroll in a long-term course. But today I feel confident that I can do that. I feel I'm more confident, probably a better person to this journey, and made a lot of great friends for lifetime. I mean, as Deepak said, as Ashwini said, I mean, these days are call away. Today, for whole day, I'm spending with my cohort from Delhi to traveling together, meeting with different people. I think at this stage of career, it's a limited opportunity you get to achieve. So I think you should try to grasp it. I mean, it's a great opportunity to be part of this kind of opportunity.
Yeah. In fact, the adrenaline of proving the naysayers wrong is really wonderful.
Yeah, exactly. That's
Great.
how it is.
Thank you, Kapil. Thank you, Deepak. Thank you, Ashwini, for your wonderful time on a Saturday evening. A happy Makara Sankranti, Lori,
You too.
or whatever, wherever across the country, across the world. Thank you so much for your time. It was a pleasure.
Thank you.
A pleasure talking to you. I've myself learned many things. And
Thank
we look forward to meet you on campus the next time when you're there. Right?
Yeah.
Thank you,
you.
everyone.
We've
you,
shared the
Have a
link.
good
Have a
time.
great evening. Bye-bye. Bye.
Thank you. We've shared the link for booking a one-on-one. Even my contact number is mentioned there. You could reach for.
Yeah. Feel free to connect with us also one-on-one. I
Yeah.
think Sandeep, you could share the number or the
Sure.
email.
Please
Absolutely.
do.
I don't think we'll prioritize that.
Absolutely. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so
Yeah,
much.
Thank you.
Bye.
Take care, everyone. Have a
Thank
good
you.
time.
Bye-bye.
Nice to see you
everyone.
guys. Bye.
Yep.
Yeah.
Bye, Deepak. Bye.
Kapil,
Ashwini.
enjoy.
Bye.
I like your background, Kapil.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.